A month ago, it was announced that a new Iron Man game is in early stages of development. For what I can remember, solo Iron Man games in the past hasn't been the best, but 4 times the charm. Although Iron Man's presence and popularity has grown with, of course, the MCU movies or the games he has been featured in, from fan favorite games to epic movies, Iron Man has definitely had his fair share of screen time. And now on the horizon is a whole new Iron Man solo game to the increasing list of Iron Man properties. The game is being developed by an EA team. EA does not have the best track record when it comes to customers. We're either shutting down great studios or putting out tasteless, lifeless copy and paste games with a sort of new can of paint. They are going to be developing 2 new Marvel games, the Black Panther game being the other game. EA's Montreal-based Team Motion, the team behind the well-reviewed Dead Space remake that was released earlier this year, will be developing it. In this video, we're going over information and a brief wish list of features and characters I hope are in the game. Soon we'll be flying through the skies blasting enemies again as the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist Tony Stark. But first hit the like and subscribe button. Now onto the information. So on the EA website, we see in the game being described as a single-player third-person action-adventure game, being again developed by Motion. Motion is the team that developed the Dead Space remake, which is also a third-person action-adventure game, although it being a survival horror. Now, I have not finished the Dead Space remake, but from what I have seen from the gameplay and the reviews I have read on Steam, the game seems to be amazing. The team developing the game is led by Oliver Pollux, who was a senior producer on 2021's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now that game was great, although the gameplay moving around linear levels was kinda clunky and stiff, with simple puzzles, like pull this object to this ledge to climb up to continue to the next section. Gone are the days we get puzzles like in God of War 2. In God of War 2, I remember that there was one puzzle where I had to go find a corpse laying around the area and lay it on the platform. That fucking puzzle took me a whole week to figure out, although I was like in 5th grade. But with Guardians, I remember the combat being fast, responsive, and surprisingly smooth. The game was mostly carried by the characters in the story. If the story in the new Iron Man game is anything like the engaging, fun, thrilling story, or the attention to detail we got in the Guardians of the Galaxy game, then we're in for a treat. On Oliver's IMDb page, it says that he's directing the game, but on his LinkedIn account, he says he's a producer at Motion. So I don't really know what his role is when it comes to this game. I am kind of curious if this game is going to be open world or open level. In my mind, it kind of has to be. A huge part of playing Iron Man is flying around and blasting enemies from above, but I guess if the missions are linear, they could give us an arena-like area for combat, but personally I prefer an open world or open area to blast and fly around, planning out my next move and avoiding enemies in air. The open world I think would be fun. Now hear me out, I personally enjoyed the flight of 2006 Superman Returns game for what I remember, although I heard it was hated. It was the one time I truly felt like Superman. I haven't played the Iron Man tie-in movie games, but I heard those were hated as well. So if we get the type of flight we do in Superman Returns, I know I would enjoy it. But they also can take ideas from another EA game, Anthem. Gameplay is probably the only thing that Anthem got right, and flying through the open world is still fun in that game. I think they could take some ideas from the gameplay and add on to this game. I think we just entered into the wishlist part, so let's jump right into it. And the best place to start will be with Tony Stark's mini Iron Man suits. For instance, I really want to see the Fang Foom Buster suit. I don't care, I said it. Hulkbuster is overrated. Now I said I want to see it, not use it, but it would be a great Easter egg. I also want to see the Thor Buster suit, the Mark 45 suit, and the War Machine suit, and etc. In Insomniac Spider-Man, we got a ton of different outfits that came with special abilities. So why not here? In Marvel Comics, Tony Stark is like the king of armor. He has a ton of different armor to pick from. Those were just a couple of my favorites. With that being said, let's move over to characters. In this game, I hope to see Tony Stark's main entourage, Pepper Potts, Jarvis as a computer thingy or as an android, which could lead into Vision or Ultron, more on Ultron later, and of course Rhodey. But I also wish to see some obscure or some of Marvel's more irrelevant characters like Ultimo, Sasha Hammer, or Stiltman. But the main villain I hope is the Mandarin. The Mandarin is Iron Man's main villain. In Iron Man 3 they made him lame. They did not use the real Mandarin. They kinda did a bait and switch. With the trailer, they're making us believe that the main villain would be the Mandarin, and the real Mandarin, nor was he anything like the comic book version of the Mandarin. Later in Shang-Chi, they introduced the real Mandarin, but who's really watching MCU Phase 5 movies anyway? So I hope to see Motion choose him and do the Mandarin some justice. The Mandarin is really powerful with the 10 rings he possesses. He is also a skilled martial artist and a scientist in the classic comics. Using his rings, he can use fire or shoot fire, turn the air around his enemies to poison the gas, turn the gas into a solid-like cement substance that traps his enemies, levitate himself or objects, increase gravity on a particular target area, create mental illusions, paralyze his enemies, unleash a wave of powerful frost to freeze his enemies, and shoot many types of beams at his enemies. Or Ultron could be a good antagonist for the game. Ultron has had his run-ins with many different Marvel characters, and Tony Stark is one of them. When a previous version of Ultron hypnotized Tony into creating a new version of Ultron, Ultron 9 then fell into liquid adamantium, making Ultron's new body damn near indestructible. And that's all for the video. Since this game is still in early development, we shouldn't be getting a trailer anytime soon. I'm expecting the game to be released around 2026 to mid-2027, accounting for delays. Tell me what you want in a new Iron Man game in the comments. Also leave a like and subscribe to my channel for news videos and updates. Thank you, have a good rest of your day.